There's a new profession being created right now that's going to generate hundreds of millionaires over the next few years. It's not software engineering, it's not sales, it's not even traditional consulting. It's called AI scaling. And the people doing it are making $300,000 to $1 million a year, working 20 to 30 hours per week, or even less. And here's the crazy part. Most people have never heard of it. Let me explain what it is, why it exists, and how you can become one. All right, so if you're a founder who hit a ceiling in your business, you basically have three options right now. Option one, you hire a consultant. You pay McKinsey or Deloitte $500,000, then they send you a team, they do analysis, and they give you a slide deck with some recommendation. And then they leave. Now you have to implement everything yourself and with your team. And if it doesn't work, too bad, they already got paid. Zero skin in the game. Option two, you take an investor. You give up 15 to 20, 30, 50% of equity. They give you advice, they make intros, they sit on your board. But here's the thing, investors are not operators. They are capital allocators. They're not in the trenches fixing your bottlenecks or optimizing your systems. They're betting on 10 companies hoping that one works out and, well, you might be one of the 9. Option three, you hire a full-time operator, a COO, CFO, a head of growth, basically a right-hand person. But good operators cost $150,000 to $300,000 a year, plus equity, plus benefits. And if they don't work out, too bad, you already paid them the salary and it's very hard to replace them now. So here's the question, what if there was a fourth option? What if you could get McKinsey-level strategy, investor-level alignment, and operator-level execution in one person? And what if that person only got paid when they actually grew your business? Well, that's AI scaling. AI scaling is this new category of high-income work that sits in the intersection of three things: deep business fundamentals, strategic AI implementation, and performance-based compensation. Let me break down how it actually works. An AI scaler comes into your business for 6 months, a year, it depends. It can be time-based or goal-based. So they just stay until they hit a goal that you want to hit. They do a complete diagnostic. They map every bottleneck, every leakage point, every place where you're leaving money on the table. And then they build systems to fix it. Not automation templates. It's not stuff that you can find from AI gurus, but real operational systems using business frameworks and strategic AI. Things like logic trees to map decision flows, reality trees to identify constraints, critical chain management for project management, and then they layer in AI only where it moves the needle, like multi-agent systems that act like employees, data analysis tools, autonomous workflows that keep working even when they leave. But here's the key difference. They don't get paid a retainer. They don't take equity. They get paid generally 25 to 50% of the growth that they generate, whether that's revenue or profit. It depends on the agreement with the business owner. If they don't grow you don't pay. This is why founders love it, and this is why AI scalers love it too. They can make 300 to 500 to $1 million or $2 million per year, depending on how big the company they grow actually is. Let me give you a real example. My partner Jake scaled a crypto community, which was also a SaaS. They had some tools from $30,000 to $150,000 per month in 4 months. Then he left, the systems kept running, and the company kept growing. That's AI scaling. Now you might be wondering, if this is so good, why hasn't this always existed? 2 reasons. First, traditional consultants would never work on performance because traditional consulting is labor expensive. It's manual analysis, manual implementation, and in most cases, manual maintenance. If you only got paid when the client succeeds, you'd go broke waiting. But AI scaling is different. 80% of the work is frameworks and system design. 20% generally is AI implementation. Once the systems are built, they run autonomously. You're not stuck babysitting the business owner and the team members. You're not manually executing every task and report. The systems do the work, you get paid on results, then you move to the next client. Second reason, AI tools weren't ready. 2 years ago, you couldn't build a full autonomous multi-agent system that would run an entire department for you. You couldn't deploy AI that truly learned and improved over time. Now you can. And that's why AI scaling is emerging as a category right now. So who's actually doing this? AI scalers come from three backgrounds. First, former consultants who are tired of the bullshit. They're good at strategy, they're good at problem solving, but they're tired of selling slide decks and not seeing results. They want to be operators, not just advisors. Second, operators and agency owners. They've most likely scaled the business before, they've been COOs, they've run growth teams, they've built and sold companies. In general, they know how to scale. They just didn't have a model to package all of it until now. Third category is smart generalists who are just great at solving problems. They might not have a fancy consulting background, but they're sharp. They can learn systems, they can think strategically. And now, with the right frameworks and AI systems, they can deliver results. And here's what they all have in common. They're not technical. Most AI scalers are not engineers. They are business first. They use AI as a tool, not as the only solution. And that's the key insight most people miss. AI scaling is not about being an AI expert. It's counterintuitive, I know. It's more about being a business expert who knows how to weaponize AI. You don't need to know every new AI model that drops every week. You need to understand how businesses actually work. And you need frameworks to strategically and systematically grow them. That's the game. Let me break down the math so you see why this works. An average AI scaler deal structure could be something like 3 to 6 month engagement, 25 to 50% of incremental growth over a defined baseline. Like, as a practical example, a company is doing $1 million a year. The baseline is $83,000 a month. You take them to $140,000 a month in 6 months. That's $57,000 a month in new revenue, which means $684,000 annualized. And your cut is at 33%. $226,000 for 6 months of work. Now, some of you might be thinking, what if it doesn't work out? What if the company doesn't grow? Then you don't get paid. That's the risk. But here's the thing, if you're good at this, you don't take clients you can't grow. You don't even know how many companies were rejected because they just couldn't grow according to their business model, and the owners didn't want to change it. You're not trying to save dying businesses. You're scaling the ones that are already positioned to scale. And when you do that, your success rate is incredibly high. Now, compare this to the other pots. A business consultant might charge $10,000 to $30,000 per month, maybe more if you're at a big firm, but you cap out at one point. There's only so many hours for so many clients. Or the other path, the employee, you're making $150,000 to $300,000 a year, fixed salary. Maybe you have some equity so the company grows and you have a little bit more money. But instead, as an AI scaler, you are uncapped by default. One great client could pay you $300,000. 2 clients, $600,000. 3 clients, boom, you're at $1 million. And you're working half of the time, if not even less, because the systems run themselves at one point. Now tell me if this isn't the highest ROI profession you've ever heard of, at least in the last decade, at least the legal ones. But now here's where all of this gets interesting. AI scaling is so new that there's more demand than supply. We have companies on waitlist that are paying us a pre-placement fee so that when we have AI scalers ready for them, we can place them into those companies. They want someone who is certified and is ready to execute. But there aren't enough AI scalers trained to get placed. So here's what we're doing. We built a training and placement program. You join, you go through the lessons, you take exams. This is not like AI gurus bullshit where you pay them $100 a month, you just have everything. You copy and paste, you can leave, and then that's it. You're kind of screwed. And all they do is just take any then public templates and tweak them a little bit, just so you know. That's why we have exams. Once you learn, you have to test your knowledge, then you get certified, then you get placed, unless you have a company and you want to implement everything for yourself. And there's so demand and so little supply that for this month, we are essentially doing this for free. Honestly, we get paid from the companies. They pay us a placement fee. But let me give you some real numbers so you understand. Right now, we're working with an SEO agency, taking them from $1 million to $2 million a year. If we hit that, with this agreement, we get 33% of the additional profit. The company pays all expenses, follows all of our instructions, no questions. Another example is the crypto company that we grew from $30,000 to $150,000 a month in 4 months. Then we left and the systems kept working. Everybody wins. And Here's why I'm telling you this. Right now, AI scaling is in the category creation phase. That means the people who position themselves as AI scalers right now, for the next 6 to 12 months, will own the category. 5 years from now, every company, I can guarantee, that is making at least $1 billion will have for sure an AI scaler in-house. But right now, most founders haven't even heard the term, and that's the opportunity. You get to define what it means. You get to be the first in your market. You get to write the playbooks while everyone else is still doing traditional consulting or taking on investors or hiring expensive C-suite employees. But here's the reality. Traditional consulting is dead. Investors are throwing money at everything, knowing that AI is in a financial bubble, so they don't really care too much about you. And when you hire a new employee, you know how it works. If they're expensive, they need to get trained. If they're bad, you're both screwed. AI scaling isn't an alternative. It's the only viable solution. But let me be very clear about who this is not for. If you're looking for a 9-to-5 job with a steady paycheck, this isn't it. If you're not comfortable with volatility and changes, this isn't it. If you don't like solving hard problems, this isn't it. AI scaling is deep work. You're diagnosing businesses, building systems, and managing implementation. It's not easy. It takes weeks to learn, probably months to practice. There's real accountability, real tests. So if you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, please, you can close this video. Otherwise, well, AI scaling is the biggest ROI move you can ever make. All right, bottom line. AI scaling is the new high-income profession that is going to replace traditional consulting and compete with equity investors. It didn't exist 3 years ago. It barely exists now, but in 3 years, it will be everywhere, and you won't be able to do it anymore. At least not with such a high ROI. The people who position themselves as AI scalers right now are gonna inevitably win, because companies will always exist and they will always need to scale. And about this, 2 things. First, if you want to see AI scaling in action, even just here on this channel, that's what the channel is for. You will see how we take companies, how we use our blueprints, how we disclose new information that you can find anywhere else, and it will be completely for free. If you want to take it a step further and actually start with training, again, for now, depending on when you're watching this video, December 2025, it's free. Link is in the description. You can join us. All right, that's it. Stop trading time for money. Start getting paid for growth. I'll see you in the next one.